Okay, this video is just for guitar basics, anatomy, and getting started on the guitar. First of all, what we have down here is the headstock and the tuning keys. The tuning keys are what tighten your strings. They either raise or lower the pitch of your string. For example, going up or down. And that's going to be used for tuning your guitar as well. Your tuning is usually in E, A, D, G, B, E, and I'll get to that in a second, but I just want to go over a couple other things, working my way down to this side of the guitar. So next we have the fretboard, where we play our notes. These are our individual strings. We have 6 of them if you didn't know that already. Our thumb is located on the back towards the middle of the guitar, and you want to use it as like a hinge on a door. You hinge your thumb back here and you swing your hand. You could swing it up and around and get all the way to this low E string, this 6th string. So you want to be able to get to that comfortably using your fingertip. Now there's going to be a time where we use our finger laying down, but at the moment, just to get started, I would start to use your fingertip. Not too close to where it's uncomfortable in the nail area, but just at the fingertip to where, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a line on my finger around that area on your finger. Now when you're pressing down on the fretboard, which are these spaces in between these metal frets, these are the metal frets, and there's markers to indicate the numbers. If you haven't noticed that already, there's a 3rd marker usually, 5th, a 7th, a 9th. What do they have in common? They're odd numbers. In between are the evens. Then on the double dot is the 12th fret, where everything repeats and you get that cool harmonic. So pressing down, you want to press right behind the fret, not on top of it. If you press on top of it, you're not going to get a great sound. It's going to be a little muted. When you press down in the fret space, you get a little brighter sound, a louder sound. You don't want to sound like this. That's muted. You're not pressing down hard enough. This too. You hear that buzz? That buzzing means you're not pressing down as well hard enough. So pressing down hard enough is key to getting a clear note ringing out the entire time you need it. Okay, so these are our fretboards, the space. Our fretting hand is usually numbered a certain way for future references to chord charts and other things. This is your 1st finger. This is your 2nd finger, your middle finger. Your ring finger is your 3rd, and your pinky is your 4th finger. They're used to play on the frets. For exercises and things like that, I like to assign those number fingers to the number frets. This is the 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. Of course, you're going to have to switch when you get up to here, but 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then so on if you have it. But anyways, our strings are numbered. They're numbered 1 through 6, starting with your highest string, highest in pitch. Not in height, but highest in pitch. Some people really get confused with that. Highest in pitch is just like a squeaky voice, a mousy kind of voice. The low pitch is down here. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is in standard tuning or low E to E, high E. We're surrounded by E's here. Picking hand. You want to pick, then you use your pick kind of choked up. I like to pick choked up on the pick so that it's close to my hand. I have a good grip on it. It almost runs parallel to my finger. The little triangular part or the pointy part sticks out almost like an extra fingernail to my finger. Otherwise, you have other options too. You could use your fingers. You could use your thumb as your base and your index, middle, and ring finger as your picking hands. It has several picks, but I like to start with a pick. So, picking hand, just alternating picking is down and up. It's a good habit to get into a down-up pick. A lot of people get into that bad habit of just picking downward all the time. Anyways, let me go over this names of the strings also to end us. So we can pluck these strings as I go. This is E, our low E, our 6th string. A, our 5th. D, our 4th. G, our 3rd. B are second, and high E are first. Now a phrase to help remember those 6 strings is this: Elvis ate dynamite, good by Elvis. He ate dynamite, he's no longer with us anymore, right? So Elvis ate dynamite, E-A-D, good by Elvis, G-B, high E. So E, low E, high E. First and 6th strings are E's. Another way you can remember it if you don't like that violent phrase is eat apples daily, E-A-D. Go to bed early, G-B-E. So a good thing to do is just go through that and just try and memorize it. Tuning, you could tune with a piano, or you could tune with relative tuning where you compare the notes on the 5th fret. But whenever you tune, play that note and let it ring, and then tune up or down, whichever way you have to go. One other thing too to think about is this, is to kind of give if you had to go a little higher with your string, you knew it was too low, to kind of twist back to loosen it, then go higher. It saves your strings, you won't pop them as much. You might notice a popping as you go high. You don't want to go too high, it can break your strings. But too low will just sound too weird. It'll just be buzzing all over the place. As you play, you might hear a rattling sound. So one way you could tune is to compare your notes to my tuner on my website. So if you want to go to that tuner, you can click the strings, and then try to compare your notes to the strings notes on that tuning website. So keep on playing and do your best.